So we've covered all the types of animals in the entire world in a very, 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 very short amount of time. Now I want to go into specifics on one type of animal, and that one type of animal is humans. For the next several weeks, we're going to be going over the different organ systems and what each organ system does. So in this one lecture, this one short lecture, I'm going to give you an overview so you have a big picture. Then I'm going to break it down point by point by point over the next several weeks, going into each system in a little bit more depth. We've talked about this in the past, how organisms are organized. Animal organism starts off, of course, at the subatomic level, protons, neutrons, electrons. Those come together to form atoms, which come together to form molecules. Molecules come together to form organelles. Organelles come together to form cells. And then we start getting a little bit more complex in what we've been dealing with more lately. Cells come together to form tissues. So individual cell types make tissues. Different types of tissues come together to make organs. And different types of organs come together to make organ systems. Then when you get an organ system together, you get an organism. So we're going to go through the different organ systems broadly today. This is a group of organs that all work together to form some sort of function. They are all connected to each other. It's almost irrational to say there's X number of organ systems because all of them are so highly interrelated to each other. These are back to those humans need to classify things. We need to create classification systems. The body doesn't care about a classification system. It just needs to work. So all of these things are interrelated. They're all connected. That being said, because we're in a classroom, it's going to be hard to say, I'm going to teach you everything about everything all in one day. So we have to break it into smaller chunks. The earliest one we're going to talk about is the endocrine system. This is a system that produces a lot of hormones that controls the other systems of the body. It's like the master switches for your body. It sends messages over a long distance. You've got certain places in your body that create hormones. Those hormones go through the rest of the body and encourage your body to have one unified reaction. You are billions of cells all acting in concert. This system is what allows them to all do the same thing at the same time. So that's the endocrine system. You have the lymphatic system. This is otherwise known as the immune system. Its job is basically to produce lymph fluid and immune cells. When your body is attacked by a foreign body, this is the system that recognizes that foreign body and tries to get rid of it or mitigate its damage. You have the circulatory system. It allows for circulation. We talked a little about this. This is not just for circulating nutrients, but also gases. So you are going to have in your body red blood cells that serve as carrier cells that move nutrients and gases through your body, whether bringing them to the cells or removing waste. It is directly attached to the endocrine system. The endocrine system feeds hormones into the circulatory system that gets passed through the rest of the body. You have the digestive system. The whole point of the digestive system is to remove nutrients from food. So those organic molecules, they come in, your body begins to break them down, and then pass it on to the circulatory system for it to be transferred throughout the rest of the body. So you see all these connections forming. The respiratory system. Its role is to draw oxygen into the lungs and get that oxygen into the red blood cells that gets moved through the circulatory system to all the rest of the cells in your body. Then it takes carbon dioxide that was expelled from the cells in your body, brought to red blood cells, and secretes them to the environment. So far, so good? The nervous system. This is what coordinates movement and helps you respond to external stimuli. You recognize what's happening in your environment and can respond to it because of your nervous system. It's also responsible for memories, which are important to survival as well as decision making. The skeletal system, you're going to have bones, joints, and cartilage. They provide an attachment point for muscles to allow for movement, but also provide structure. Another very important feature of the skeletal system is to provide a reservoir for calcium and phosphorus. If you don't have enough calcium in your body will break your bones down to get it, and that leads to osteoporosis. So drink your milk. The muscular system. This is what helps your body move and interact with the environment. So you've got different types of muscle. You've got smooth muscle and cardiac. That's not considered part of the muscular system. That is actually going to be considered part of the circulatory system because basically it's your heart muscle. But all the other muscles are going to attach to skeletal components, or perhaps usually they attach to skeletal components to give them some leverage to help with movement. Reproductive system, it's responsible for creating and transmitting haploid gametes. All the rest of your cells are diploid. These cells are haploid. So this produces your eggs and your sperm. The excretory system is responsible for removing waste. You excrete things. It's also responsible for maintaining homeostasis, keeping your body regulated at the same temperature, with the same blood sugar, and so on. Maintaining stable body levels of chemicals and temperature and such. Questions? The integumentary system is your skin and your hair. This typically is what provides anchor points for sensors. So mechanical receptor, which we haven't talked about yet, for whenever you feel something in the environment, you have cells that are doing that detecting and sending that information back to your brain. The integumentary system provides a place for them to sit. You feel things with your fingers. There's integumentary tissue there that allows for those specialized cells to interact with your environment. And those are all of the systems. That's a lot of systems. We're not going to learn about every single one of them in depth. We're going to go in depth on the endocrine system, the digestive system, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, the nervous system, and a little bit on the excretory system because it's tied in with the circulatory and digestive system. And the reason I'm going to end up going over so many of them, just not independently, is that they are so closely tied together. So what you're going to see is me talking about, let's say, the digestive system, the circulatory system, and the respiratory system all at the same time because they're that closely tied in with each other.